who's the showster, boyster, gangster, freshster, coolster in the house, boy. I'm the swag, boy. I'm the OG. You know who it is, the cool Joester. Look at all these chains. You see the crystal beaded necklace? I just got that for my birthday, though. It's so cool. I know, everybody's been commenting on it. Yeah, I got all these crystals from the farmer's market, like I said in the last video. And I got this crystal for my birthday. Yeah. Really, I got this little one right here. Yeah, without my thumb is on. This orange one is a carnelian that I bought from SD, that I ordered from SD. Yeah, so each of them, yeah, I had stories to get these crystals. Like this rose quartz took a long time for me to get, and I really wanted it, but I couldn't get it. Yeah, I had to wait. But yeah, but you see my new gaming chair. It's so awesome. Don't you see it? It's a gaming chair though. Yeah, it's amazing. So let me sit down in the gaming chair and let me begin my conversation. Now let's talk about a controversial conversation. Exposure therapy response prevention. Yeah, that's what I would like to talk about. Now let's talk about what exposure therapy is. Exposure therapy is when the therapist exposes the patient to their fear and increases their anxiety so that they can get used to feeling uncomfortable around their fear. Like for an example, if you were scared of spiders, if you were scared of spiders though, guess what? The therapist would put a spider right next to you until you got comfortable with the spider being right next to you. Yeah, I agree with face your fears. Yeah, you want to be brave, you want to be tough. You want to be brave like a brave prince or a brave princess or a brave superhero. Yeah, you want to be brave like Captain America. You want to be brave like Deadpool. You want to be brave like the Black Panther. You want to be brave like Wonder Woman. You want to be brave like Flash. Yes. Like Black Panther, you want to be brave. Yes, you do want to be brave. Yes, it's good to be brave, but I agree with a bunch of other critics that exposure therapy is a very, very cruel treatment to use on patients. It's very cruel to use exposure therapy on your patients. Now, response prevention. Response prevention is when you prevent the patient from doing any compulsions. Like, let's say if you were afraid of germs and you just touched something dirty. Your response would be to wash your hands for an hour because you feel like you need it very clean. By the way, I am OCD. Yes. Wash your hands for an hour. But I believe that that's just a label. OCD, I don't believe that's a real thing. But wash your hands. I'm diagnosed with OCD. Yeah, but wash your hands for an hour or wash your hands for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, let's say, because you feel like you need to, or you need to scrub your fingertips for a very long time. we would say you have to wash your hands for 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Yeah, instead of that time. So prevent the compulsion. No responding with the compulsion. And then you have to track your bands, your band book. You have to track your band. Like your bands of your compulsion. If you want me to show you what a band book is, I can. This is a band book. Hope you can see it. Yeah. Those are compulsions. Vocalizing. So yes, I'm mostly vocalizing is crossed out on this list. Vocalizing is like talking to yourself. But I agree with LBR Daz that you're 24 hours a day with yourself. You know you're going to talk to yourself. You're 24 hours a day with yourself. Yeah, I agree with LBR Daz. You're 24 hours a day with yourself. But when I got back from the facility, my doctor, Dr. Podolsky, said, go ahead and talk to yourself. It's okay to talk to yourself. I don't care if you talk to yourself. He doesn't care if I talk to myself. He said as long as I'm talking to me and not the OCD. But you get it, yeah. I take a long time to get ready in the morning. And I do want my routine to be faster nighttime, morning time routine, yes. Definitely. But in my opinion, I do not think exposure therapy and response prevention is the answer. I do not think that it works. I do not like how it works. I do not like the fact that they increase your anxiety. When you're already anxious, they would increase your anxiety even more. When you're already anxious, I'm like, you're already anxious. What's the point of increasing your anxiety? How is that nice? I don't think that's nice. And yeah, I told one of my coworkers, Andrew, about it. He said it wasn't very nice. I mean, he said it, when I told my coworker Andrew about it, he didn't really say it wasn't very nice. My mistake. He said, when I told my coworker Andrew about exposure therapy, he said, that's not even therapy. That sounds terrible. That's not even therapy. And I agree with him, it's not. I told another coworker woman about it. She said, I already have anxiety and I don't think I need my anxiety increased. I told a random woman about it and he said, and I told, do you know my doctor, Dr. Podolsky, does exposure therapy. And one time I met him when we were doing exposure therapy, he digged in the trash can and rubbed it all over his head, which was very nasty. He digged in the trash can, rubbed his hands together, and rubbed it all over his head. And that was very nasty, to dig in the trash can and rub his hands together and rub it all over his head, which was very nasty, in my opinion. So I told When I told Andrew that my doctor did that, digged in the trash can and rubbed it all over his head, and he said, "Ew, dig in the trash can and rub it all over your head. That's disgusting. I'm not even OCD and that bothers me." That's what my coworker Andrew said. Yeah, that was the job that didn't last very long, where the Walmart store closed. Yes, I don't agree with exposure therapy. I don't like it. I don't know why it's a good idea. I don't do it. Sometimes, yeah, I don't do it. Unless my family is on top of me and makes me do it, I don't do it. I don't agree with that type of therapy. I was watching a video on myths of exposure therapy, and I was like not agreeing. I was agreeing that those myths were actually true, but when I read the comments, I got mad until I read the comments, and they said, one comment had a long paragraph, and it said, I read the end, and it said, excuse me, I burned. Yeah, I read the long comment. I read the end of the comment of the video. One of the comments. Always read the comments. I read the end of the end of the comment of the video, and the end of the comment said, "How is this therapy going to work if the patient never feels safe? That doesn't make sense. The patient doesn't feel safe. The patient will never get better because the patient never feels safe. That doesn't even make sense." And I read another comment that said, "Forget this type of therapy. It doesn't work. Forget this type of therapy. It doesn't work." So I agree. Forget this type of therapy. It doesn't work. I don't even know why patients use it. It's so overrated and outdated. I have to look up who made it. Such an overrated, outdated treatment. Like all doctors use it and it doesn't work. It doesn't make you feel better. One of the myths were it only works on victims that survive from rape. And that's, yeah, it only works on those kind of victims. Or it works on, and that's how it only works. Or it doesn't work. They make the patients are willing to come, but like, they didn't know that it was going to be exposure therapy. When I was watching a video called Pete is the Worst Therapist, this man was afraid of clowns, and this other therapist was like, "Calm down. We need exposure therapy." So he was going to like and sing circus music, which wasn't very nice. Like, because he was scared of clowns. They said Pete's the worst therapist, and they said and then after he did that, he said, "Close your eyes and take a deep breath while I keep singing this clown circus song. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Close your eyes." And then when he opened his eyes, he was dressed as a clown, and he said, "Calm down, it's not ha ha." And then blood came out of his mouth. And then the patient came running, screaming out of the room when he was dressed as a clown. He was like, "Ew, why did I use real blood?" I'm like, "Yeah, why did you use real blood? That's nasty." I don't agree with exposure therapy because it's disgusting how they use on OCD cleanliness, germ OCD, like dirty OCD cleanliness, germ OCD. Yeah, I don't like that kind of therapy. On germ OCD, response prevention, contamination OCD, contamination exposure therapy. I don't like that. that kind of therapy that they use. Yeah. And that was nasty. Why did he do that? Like, you shouldn't have used real blood. You should have just told him to take deep breaths. Why don't they just tell you to meditate and do breathing exercises instead of exposure therapy? Because meditation and breathing exercises decrease your stress. Wow. Exposure therapy increases your stress. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't agree with the type of therapy, but I don't know how long this video is going to be. So guys, that type of therapy doesn't work. Don't use it. Instead, take breathing exercises. I don't like that type of therapy. That therapy is lame and stupid.